to South Jersey Life, another edition. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're watching this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with your friends. You know the deal. This is sports edition, so I don't have my partner story right now. A little under the weather, but I got my cuz from the ATL representing my man Levon about
Yes,
to
sir.
shed some light with his sports mind, and he's going to get into a little bit with the Falcons because I think I was talking my smack about my Denver Broncos last week. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then let's hear about what happened with the Atlanta Falcons this year and how do they plan to get better for next year. So the floor is yours, cuz.
Appreciate that, cuz. Appreciate that, cuz. Hey, shout out to
Uh-huh.
everybody out there, man. Do that. Subscribe. Let's make this thing pop. Let's make it pop.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
quick recap since I'm first on the scene with you. Just
Hmm.
talking about those Falcons this year. It
Yeah.
was a very interesting season, being that
Mhm.
we lost Maddie. We had the franchise quarterback for years or
Right.
what have you. We let him go preseason in the mix with that Deshaun Watson scenario.
Hmm.
That was interesting down here. We got a lot
I
of love for that quarterback spot now.
I thought y'all was getting Deshaun until they flashed that money over in Cleveland.
Yeah, hey, unbelievable deal. Unbelievable deal. But it was a crazy situation. So it's
Mhm.
with that Deshaun situation, without going too deep off into it, it comes with a lot. It's a very fragile situation. We'll leave it at
Right.
that.
Hmm.
But anyway, we moved on. Had a decent year. We tried Marcus Mariota, Heisman winner, from
Hmm.
Oregon, and gave him another shot at it. This was
Right.
year two with the head coach.
Hmm.
Um, and we hung in there. We was giving it a fighter's chance. The NFC South was low this year, so let's just cut through it.
It
You know,
was. It was. Yeah. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that
yeah,
great. Yeah. We gonna tell the truth up here.
yeah, we gonna tell the truth. You know what I mean? Hey, the
Yeah.
vision was weak. But we was battling it out. You got to get a
Yeah.
win or something.
And look, Mariota looked very good in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, Marcus made he looked pretty good, but then when I seen that they said, "Nah, we gonna let the young boy take over for you." I said,
Yeah,
okay, that they done folded their tents for this year. So
yeah. But actually, now it was a lot of noise down here,
mhm,
pretty much consistently all year
yeah,
of trying to get a young guy a shot because
mhm,
here's the deal:
mhm,
we drafted him so high.
yeah,
Okay, what do we have in this young high first round draft pick quarterback? We're
mhm,
coming into the off season. We got a lot of free agent money.
right,
Quarterbacks floating around. Do you go out and get one of the free agent? Lamar Jackson is out there. Do you make a big
mhm,
play at that? But it's hard to really make a play if you don't even know what you got in your stable.
true,
Um,
true,
but Mariota played just well enough to keep the timeline moving throughout the season, and we almost got pushed into a tight to when we was finally out of the playoff hunt.
mhm,
It made it a little easier to make
right.
that transition or what have
Mhm.
you. And for the most part, we pleased with the young guy. He only had 4 games. You
Yeah, I mean
know,
he looked. I didn't get a chance to see him too much, but I seen him a couple games. But he looked good when he was with Cincinnati, right, last year, when he was in college, right?
correct.
Ridley.
Made it to
Yeah.
the
So
playoffs.
yeah. He was a bad boy in college. So I said I want to see him. I saw him a lot in preseason. So when
Yeah,
y'all did play your preseason games, I did watch him. He looked pretty good,
yeah, a little
So
mobile. And in today's game, you gotta be mobile, man. So anyway, we newest thing for the Dirty Birds, man. We our defense coordinator went on and retired. Coach Pease,
uh-huh,
veteran in the league. So we in the hunt for DC, and
uh-huh,
that's gonna probably be our next uh, splash play or what have you. Is what we gonna do and what direction we going with
right.
the DC. So that should be. And we got a young defense. Not top tier, of course.
Hmm.
Below average, but average. Some athletes
Hmm.
here or there, but
Okay.
most part, the climate in Atlanta about the Falcons is we got a lot of holes to fill.
Hmm.
Big preseason and free agent market coming up. So the
Right.
off season is going to be key. And right now, I would say the GM is
Hmm.
probably, on stage. It's his time to make his
Guys,
move as a
to
young as a
improve.
yeah. I mean,
To
you're a
improve.
GM. It's a GM. It's time for you to make your play like a running back makes his play. So,
Right.
but
So I
we'll
do
see,
got.
man.
Well, I got one. I just want to throw this one caveat out to you. Okay. They got this guy named Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if Lamar is happy. Okay, he's been very, cryptic in, on what's been going on. So you know how y'all was close for Deshaun, right? If
Yes.
Lamar becomes available, are you willing to give up the house? Oh my goodness, I think we're freezing up a little bit. So
Okay. So
can
you
you
was
hear me?
going there.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on. The owners like, yo, I don't want y'all talking about that right now.
Yeah, yeah. They trying real hard out there in Baltimore. They just let go
Mhm.
today. Baltimore let go of the offensive coordinator, and
Yep,
uh,
yep,
and
yep.
the word
Romans.
is,
Yep.
yeah, and the word is they gonna, they trying to hold them down. They trying to hold them down. But as far as possibilities, I mean, if you're a free agent, the possibility, I mean, who? It's a lot of teams out there that wouldn't mind, Lamar Jackson
Hmm.
falling into their lap or what have you. But the question that you and the point that you made is giving up the house,
Hmm.
and that's what makes that decision so tough in future, because we have so many holes to fill.
Hmm.
We don't have even though our offensive line played better this year than they have in the past.
Right.
uh i think that was I think that was due to just focusing on the running game. And
Hmm.
as a lineman, O line, you look a little better when you run blocking versus pass blocking. You can be more aggressive, fire off the ball, things of that nature.
Right.
But as far as Lamar coming here, I mean, Atlanta, we love a mobile quarterback, Mike Vick. So hey, we'll take it. But what is the cost going to be financially, and will we have anything left in the pot to go after some defensive pieces to shore
Hmm.
up our defense? I mean, because
Yeah.
you got to imagine wherever he goes, he wants to go to a
He wants to
solid.
win. I mean,
He
this
wants.
is and my thing with Lamar, and we're not gonna stay on this for too much, but my thing with Lamar is he sees what happened with Jalen Hurts. Okay, he sees what happened to Josh Allen. They're not running this run ball control offense, even though they're mobile quarterbacks. They're gunning the football. Now, I
Mhm.
do remember him being in Louisville under the Bobby Petrino system, which was a pro style offense.
Yeah, we don't talk about Petrino too
I
much in
know
Atlanta.
Petrino
So,
didn't last too long for you guys. I don't even think he made it through the year, right?
yeah,
But
yeah. I
but
digress.
Petrino, but Petrino had, I think he had Bridgewater, because Bridgewater was before Lamar.
Correct.
And that was that offense that he ran. Bridgewater was more precise.
I agree.
Lamar was more explosive under that system, but he let Lamar throw that football. And I'm thinking Lamar's looking at these other quarterbacks. Okay, where's my number one receiver at? Right? Why
Correct.
can't we spread this offense out a little bit? I can't be getting hit, because when I get hit, y'all keep talking about y'all not gonna give me my money. And that's not cool. So I think Lamar's probably sitting there, sitting back like, yo, I want to expand this offense. Um, and start throwing the ball, putting up 4,000 yards a season and getting about 700 yards rushing. I can do both. I'm not, don't keep me in this cocoon that you had me in for the last 4 to 5 years. I'm grown. It's time for this offense to grow. And that's what I think Lamar's thinking about right now. So,
I agree. I agree. He has to think about protecting his body.
mhm,
But the league now though is, I mean, if you think about, let's just put Lamar to the side and say this about the NFL right now.
uh-huh,
You can see a paradigm shift where it's almost mandatory
mhm,
that you have a mobile quarterback. He
gotta
doesn't
have
necessarily
one.
he doesn't necessarily have to run for 1,000 yards
Yeah.
to qualify as a legit mobile quarterback, but
Right.
a solid top tier quarterback must
Mhm.
extend, I would say, in my opinion, 4 or 5 plays a game.
Mhm.
Just to in the ebbs and flow of the game, I might need my quarterback to run for that 3, 4 yards. You may not have to break
Mhm.
out for a 30-yard touchdown, but move those
Mhm.
chains.
Right. Yeah.
Move those chains.
You gotta, it's no longer the statue. Like Tom Brady is the last of a dying breed.
Yeah,
Even Aaron Rodgers can move around a little bit. You know what I'm
point.
saying? He
That's
can
my
get out of
point.
trouble. This is why when you got Tom Brady and my man Matt Jones down there for the Patriots, I mean they ain't going nowhere. They right
Yeah,
in that pocket. The defensive line knows where to go, and they can't protect them like they used to. It's too much. The defensive ends are too fast. Linebackers are too fast. If I know where you're going to be at, that's where we're attacking, and that's what messed up Tom Brady all year because he couldn't get away, and that offensive line couldn't hold up. And there you have a struggling Tampa Bay Buccaneers team this year. But I'm listening to y'all got optimism
yes,
down in ATL for the Falcons, so I respect that. Like
yeah.
just like I got optimism for my Broncos. Russ ain't as bad as everybody think he's going to be next year. No, no, this was an anomaly. Okay, so he
Yeah.
had this bad year this year, but next year I think it's going to be a whole different ballgame, especially if we get Sean Payton as a head coach. So we'll see
I
what's
mean,
going on with that.
and just to be fair, man, you
Hmm.
talking about quarterbacks. You want to, if you're a quarterback, then you like to sling it around.
Right?
Then you have to have you some legit options
Yeah.
as well. You got to have a legit number one. Our rookie London, honestly, this year he was forced into that number one receiver role for the
Right.
Falcons. We lost Julio. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Julio left. Yeah.
yeah, Julio left and went to Tampa, but if you want to talk honest about it, Julio's best years was used up with the non-mobile Matt Ryan. Hey, I
Yeah.
said it. I said it. I said it. But
Mhm.
so anyway, we have a young possible um well, he is a legit wide receiver one, but
Yeah.
as far as a core goes, we don't have any big names at the receiver slot. Now we do have Pitts returning off of injury, and Kyle Pitts, that was a big draft pick, a big option. If you're a quarterback, you want to have a
Yeah.
legit tight end. You want to have a
Oh,
legit tight end.
hold on for a second, Levi.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
When you're talking, you are. You can walk and sit on the couch. Yeah, this is the missus. She does not want to be on TV. I understand that, but she is able to walk by and not be on the camera. So let's see if you can do that. You're good. In studio audience, you got.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
want to hear some applause when I make good points too.
Yeah, they got the birds after you. They up in the suite.
Okay, okay. All right, so let's talk about the teams that made the playoff this year, right?
All right, enough. Let's get to it.
Yeah,
Big weekend.
let's get to it. So the first game we're going to talk about is the Jags in Kansas City. Okay,
Okay.
now listen, the Jags. I didn't think they was going to make the playoffs this year. I thought this was going to be, Doug Peterson comes in and says, you know what, let's change the environment, let's change the culture. We got
Mhm.
Urban Myers out of here. Let's get 6, 7, maybe 8 wins. But for them to actually win the division, you know, it's like, okay, Dougie P. That's
Yeah.
what's up. The Eagles was wrong for firing you. But, it is what it is. So they had a real good year. Trevor Lawrence started looking like the number one pick because before he was looking like a bust.
Yeah.
Okay. He's starting to look like the number one pick. Um, so when they played last week, I did predict that they were going to win because I can't stand San Diego. They play in our division. Broncos is that's a little bit of
Yeah,
hate.
I feel
And I'm
you.
calling them San Diego. They're Los Angeles, but always be San Diego to me. Okay, so so Jacksonville got by that game, and it's like what they may have a puncher shot in this Kansas City game because for some reason Kansas City is 9-point favorites, but they never cover point spread. So Kansas City, number one seed, they had the week off. They're ready, to march on to the Super Bowl. They have the best quarterback in football, Patrick Mahomes. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be a closer game than people think, but I still think that Kansas City will pull it off. But I think it will be a much closer game than everybody thinks. So, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm following you on that.
Yeah,
Jacksonville is they the Cinderella of the playoffs. Let's just call it what it is.
yeah,
As far as all the teams in the playoffs, you
hmm
know, I don't think there's another team that was as big of a surprise to make the playoffs. I mean, out of who's left, I mean, you that NFC East was just a battle all year.
yeah.
But Jacksonville, man, I mean, like you said, man, they the darlings right now. Is
They
they
are,
might
they
have
are.
a little bit of that mojo, that playoff
Hmm.
mojo, nothing to lose. They
Yeah,
showed that last week.
right.
And I mean, they did host and it was done at home, but at the same time,
They were
hey,
the they were the underdogs. Everybody thought San Diego was going to come up in there, roll them out, get them
hey,
out of there. You know,
exactly, exactly. I
yeah.
mean, and your guy, he's a national championship winning quarterback now.
Trevor Lawrence was a bad boy in college. That they was trying to draft him when he was still 17 years old, man. I
Yeah,
mean, he was a bad boy.
yeah,
National
and
championship as a freshman.
that's what Doug Peterson showed you. I mean,
Mhm.
to the Philly crew, when you mentioned that, it's
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm a hell of a coach. I just need a legit quarterback. If you
not
give me a
Carson
legit
Wentz.
quarterback,
Yeah, not Carson Wentz. Yeah,
yeah, hey, but that wasn't a legit quarterback.
I know. That's what I'm saying. A
Yeah,
legit quarterback,
yeah,
not Carson Wentz. So all these
yeah,
Philadelphia fans that may be watching this,
yeah,
I'm one of the biggest Carson Wentz haters. And when it's true, it ain't hate. It's facts. Okay, so let's go.
yeah, exactly. So now he's got a
Mhm,
he's got a Trevor Lawrence, okay,
mhm,
who's a heck of a quarterback, young, and mentally tough enough to deal with last year and leave it
mhm.
and start a new slate this year.
Right.
So I think he really has these guys believing in him. They
Mhm,
know he's a Super Bowl winning coach.
mhm.
So it's a lot of youth in Jacksonville as well.
Right.
A lot of guys down there haven't even ever been to the playoffs,
Mhm,
and here they are, making that they buying into the system, they playing hard, they going into they the Coach Peterson went there 2 years ago, but Jacksonville went up there and played Kansas City last year, I
okay.
believe. And
Mhm,
so Trevor Lawrence has, as a quarterback, the reason I mentioned that is you talking about going to Arrowhead. Now you're a
yeah.
football fan. If you're a sports fan, regardless of who your team is, you got to respect the game and
Arrow,
the setup. We're
yeah.
talking about Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah. We had to 1997. We had to go through Arrowhead. We had to go through where the Steelers play
Yeah,
to go win our Super Bowl that year in '97. So Arrowhead is Derek Thomas and all this other stuff back in the day.
exactly.
Arrowhead has always been a fierce place. No one wants to play. They go come out with pops like they down in the state. So yeah, it's always been feared.
Yeah,
Arrowhead Stadium. So it's going to be a lot on the shoulders of Trevor Lawrence to try to prevail out there.
I agree. I agree. But that's a tough draw. But
Mm-hmm,
if you're a number one seed, Kansas City, this
mm-hmm,
is what you bust your butt for during the regular season, is so that you can be a number one seed and
mm-hmm.
host. And let's just call it is what it is. Kansas City's been in the mix ever since. Yeah, Patrick
Four
Mahomes. I mean,
four
we
years
hear
in a
every
row,
yeah,
AFC Championship game. Yep.
you know. I
Yeah, I
mean, when you
mean
start
that's
everybody wants their team to have that track record. You would want the
Mhm.
Broncos to have that same scenario. Are you going to win the championship every year? It's tough
Mhm.
out here. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, consistency, giving your team a shot at the
Mhm.
chip, is what every fan is looking for. And
Right.
Kansas City definitely is in the driver's seat. And like you
Mhm.
said, they're +9, but will they cover? But then again, if Trevor Lawrence comes out and has a first quarter like he did last week
Yeah, they're going.
against
They're
Kansas
going.
City,
It ain't no comeback on that one.
hey, it might be a
Ain't no
done deal.
comeback.
It might,
Yeah. Yeah.
kiss the
Yeah.
baby, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Mm.
is. It's lights out after that. So yeah. So what do you think is going to happen? You got a score predictions score. What's going to happen in this game?
I see, I see Kansas City. I see Kansas City 30, 30, 10 point spread. I see Kansas City covering the spread. For
Okay.
some reason, it's gonna be high scoring, but I'm looking at somewhere uh in the low 30s
Okay.
because of a defensive play or a special teams play.
Okay.
So I see Mahomes just dueling it out, and just the
Right.
crowd. You got to understand the crowd will play a factor. It's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
big penalty
Mm-hmm.
at some point with the illegal start, a false start on Jacksonville. That's going to be tough if they get pinned down
Mm-hmm.
and have a long way to go. I think that crowd is going to make a difference. So I'm gonna give it to KC, man.
Okay. And they're going to cover. Gotcha. So
Yeah,
I'm just let me. I think that Jags will cover. So since they are 9 point underdogs, I'm gonna say they're gonna lose by 8. Let's call it a 28-20 game. I think it'll be close in the first half. Kansas City will pull away, and then I think Jacksonville will probably get like a last minute touchdown and try to make it closer than what it is. So I guess Kansas City has a hard time covering for some reason. I lost a lot of money on Kansas City this year. I mean, I lost a lot of money on Kansas City this year for not covering. So I don't think they're going to cover this one either. But 28-20 decisive win, and I think Kansas City will be, you know, I'm not going to say where they'll be at because we got to talk about the other game. But
I
they
got
will be, yeah. They'll, yeah. We ain't
you.
gonna
They'll be
talk about
moving
that
on.
now.
They'll be
Yeah,
moving on.
we're gonna move on. But they are the number one. I think they will prevail.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go to the next game. The next game is Cincinnati at Buffalo.
Mm.
Buffalo is 5.5 point favorites. Buffalo. Well, you know what? You say darling teams with Jackson. Right now, the world is on rooting for Buffalo because of the Mar Hamlin situation. So they have a lot. That's like the whole country is like, if our team can't win, let Buffalo win for Demar, right?
Yeah.
So, and plus they were so close last year, but they left 13 seconds on the clock for Patrick Mahomes. That's you don't leave no time on the clock. He's like Tom Brady. So
Yes,
they
sir.
have a lot to play for. They have a lot of incentive. They were the number one team that everybody picked for preseason favorites to win a Super Bowl. They have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl, and they're playing a hungry. You know what? I'm not going to say a hungry Cincinnati Bengals team. They're playing a Cincinnati Bengals team that I'm not the biggest fan of Joe Burrow, but I respect him. And for him to be in his third year and he got my respect, he's a bad boy. I don't.
Yeah.
I ain't. Yeah. It's like it's like Tom Brady. I can't stand Tom Brady, but Tom Brady was a bad boy. Burrow has that type of makeup about him. So with this game, I'm looking at Cincinnati pulling upset. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to pull an upset on this game because when they played that game against Buffalo and Demar Hamlin got hurt. Now remember, before the incident happened, they moved right down the field on Buffalo's defense. Buffalo's vaunted defense. It looked easy, right? Buffalo took the ball. They went down the field. They had to settle for a field goal. Bengals was going right back down the field on Buffalo's defense until DeMar got hurt.
Correct.
Okay, game gets canceled. I don't see too much things changing. I just think that Cincinnati feels like they're better than Buffalo, but no one thinks that. I think Cincinnati thinks they're better than Kansas City, but no one thinks that. I think they should have won the Super Bowl last year, which no one gives them credit for. So to me, with the world, the pressure, the all of America rooting for Buffalo, it's going to be too much pressure for Josh Allen, the Bear. And I think that it's going to be some crucial mistake that he makes at the end of the game, and
Mm.
Cincinnati will pull it off. I don't. We'll talk about the score afterwards. But what's your opinion on this?
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like your angle, and
Uh-huh.
like you said, Buffalo right now is the overall sentimental favorite, even if
Yeah.
you're not a Buffalo fan. So you're right on point
Mm-hmm.
with that statement. And as far as Joe Burrows goes, uh, he is a bona fide top tier quarterback in
Yes,
the
he is.
National
Yes, he
Football League,
is.
and he's a winner. He's a
Mm-hmm.
winner out of college.
Yeah.
He's a man's man. He's tough. He's coming off of an injury. I mean,
Yeah.
terrible injury.
Mm-hmm.
That is at the end of his rookie year, I
Yeah.
believe.
They had the ACL, and he
Yeah,
came back the next season, took his team to the Super Bowl. He's a bad boy.
he's a bad boy.
He's a bad
Okay, now here's where I'm going.
boy. Uh-huh. Let me
I'm
hear this. Let
going
me hear this. Yeah.
I'm going Buffalo.
Okay.
I'm going Buffalo. They're playing at Buffalo.
Right.
Okay, so they're at Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
They're not back in Cincinnati. That's great for Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too soon for Buffalo to if this game was in Cincinnati,
Right.
I say Cincinnati. Just with all of the injury and it's just too soon.
Right.
So I take that. I say we're at Buffalo.
Yeah.
The crowd is going to be bananas.
Mm-hmm.
The team is psychologically, I believe, and I mean this in no disrespect because everybody plays hard,
Mm-hmm.
but in that situation, and we're talking about football, I can see Buffalo coming out with a lot of emotion. With that being said, they must control those emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those those revenge. You don't want to have it in a revenge mentality because then it turns out it can be negative.
Yeah.
But and you don't like I said, I don't want anybody to get hurt or anything, no kind of retaliation because it was just a freak
Yeah.
accident.
Freak accident. Yeah.
Yeah, we all understand that point. But with that being said,
Uh-huh.
as a former athlete, I'm like, yo, we got to get this squad.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to get this squad. And they
Mm-hmm.
were moving on them. That particular game, it was getting ready to be a barn burner.
Cincinnati
So I
look-
do agree with you.
Cincinnati did look good. They look good.
Okay. But
Mhm.
here's something. Here's something. That offensive line for Cincinnati is beat up. They have lost an
Yes.
offense starting O
True.
line for the last 3 weeks.
True.
And
True.
and for Burrow to beat Burrow, because
Mm-hmm.
trust me, Atlanta knows about that Cincinnati connection. I
uh-huh.
mean, they completely destroyed us. And
Uh-huh.
that was probably the one game we all agree on down here that they were just better than us, regardless. It was
Okay.
nothing we could
Okay.
do. And I don't think they're going to be at full strength because of that offensive line. And
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is going to be playing emotionally high defensively,
Mm-hmm.
since that's the side of the ball that the young man was on.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna look at the film and like you just broke it down, what was going on in that last game when they were moving it on them, and
Uh-huh.
what kind of quick adjustments can we make with the fact that they got some new starters on the O line, change
Mm-hmm.
up some things, maybe get them off their rhythm or whatever. But I see Buffalo. I really think Buffalo is going to pull it out. And Josh Allen has to throw the ball. He has to be accurate. He has
Well,
to be accurate. He has to.
yeah.
He has to complete 75 to 80% of his passes, and they do not all have to be 20 yards down the field. That right inside of that 10 yard,
Mm-hmm.
10 to 15 yard. If he can get a couple of those to
Mm-hmm.
connect, because he likes to go, he likes to blow the top off.
He got that big arm. Right?
Yeah,
He got that big arm. He want to
I
show it
mean,
off.
he gonna
But
show it off, but the emotions, like you said,
mhm,
that might be where it might be a chink in his armor because he knows he has a big arm and
mhm,
that bully mentality of I
mhm.
can make it happen anyway. Cincinnati's not beat up on defense like they are on offense.
Yeah, and my thing with Cincinnati, I can't name nobody off of Cincinnati's defense, but they always play well enough to win. They're not going to hold you to 10 points. They may give up 20 points, but they always play well enough to win and give Burrow a shot to bring it through in the fourth quarter. And I'm assuming that they're going to do the same thing this week. And I just see that Cincinnati, no one's really talking about them. Like, teams like when you got Philadelphia media up here, they say the top two teams in the AFC, Buffalo and Kansas City. They don't even bring up Cincinnati up here. It's like total disrespect. So I
Yeah,
just think that Cincinnati feels like they are the best team, but they get treated like they're the third best team. They like they're this, they're the younger brothers of Buffalo and Kansas City. Like they were destined to meet. And I think Cincinnati's going to break up the party this week, and I think they're going to take it over. But like I said,
okay.
Buffalo is 5.5 point favorite. So you got Buffalo. What's your score? And do you think they're going to cover?
I don't think they're gonna cover,
Okay.
and I see 20, 30-27.
30-27. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be some big plays. But 3 points. I see 3 points.
I mean, they're
Because
even. They're evenly matched.
yeah, I mean, who has the ball last? I mean, it may come down to last possession.
I'm gonna put it like this. I think that it's going to be Cincinnati that's going to pull off this win. I think it is going to be a high scoring game. Okay, so
Okay.
I think it may be a 38-35 win Cincinnati.
Woo, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I can see these because for some reason Buffalo always got the number one defense in the regular season, but they give up a lot of points.
they do.
Like
And
gave up 30 some points to the Miami Dolphins. So they need on their third string quarterback. So I listen, when it's playoff time for Buffalo, I worry and I will be worried about facing Joe Burrow in the playoffs with those weapons. When you got Chase, Higgins, and Boyd,
yeah,
and mixing in the backfield, that's a lot that they got to deal with. When you know that's Buffalo, they don't like to run the football. If you can double team, um, ah,
Diggs,
yeah, you
Diggs,
can double team Diggs. I mean, you're taking away a lot of the offense. Just let Josh Allen run for 6 yards, but just keep hitting them. I think that's going to be the
yeah.
recipe. We'll let them run a little bit. Just keep popping them. Maybe get them out the game. So
But Buffalo's key on defense is, and here's is something on that. When you just mentioned that receiving core, that
mhm.
is unbelievable. They lead the
Yeah.
league in yards after first contact
Okay.
as a receiving core.
Yeah, well, Chase is a beast. He's a tank.
Oh man, but then again, I'm going back. I know I'm talking back and forth, but
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
GM for Cincinnati went out and got his quarterback. And
Hmm.
the very next year, what did he
Hmm.
do? He went to the same college, LSU, and pulled his number one.
And that seems to be the trend that's going on because if you look at it, Jalen Hurts for the Eagles, they went and got Jalen Smith from Alabama. Okay, and then got next year. Okay, he ain't playing college with him, but that's his boy who he tried to recruit to go to Alabama, AJ Brown. So you see a lot of this going on where the people that you played with in college. I think what's my man, Kyler Murray. He wanted Brown from Baltimore and told him to come over to Arizona. So you see that these GMs, like if they got a connection in college, why can't they have that same connection
That's
in the
Miami too,
NFL?
cuz that's Miami.
Yep.
Waddle,
Yeah, Tua,
yeah,
Alabama. Yep.
they went
Like
down
all
there.
that,
And
all that connection. Yeah.
hey, I
And
mean
you see
it's
they, and then when they get the wide receivers, they start to excel. Now, is there any good wide receivers that came out of Louisville that, that Lamar Jackson can go get?
yeah,
They took a
but,
while.
but that's the other disrespect. I mean, I can't say that always happens, but
Yeah.
it's sort of like Aaron Rodgers' argument in the last couple years.
Hmm.
You got a nice quarterback, but then you're reluctant to go out there and get him a legit
Yeah.
number one
They don't.
receiver and some
They don't.
tools.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
tough. But in this case with Cincinnati, they have that connection. The
Hmm.
learning curve was short. They are showing that it works.
Hmm.
And my point was Buffalo has to tackle the Cincinnati receivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They must tackle the Cincinnati receivers and limit
Hmm.
the yaks. That's
Yeah.
key.
I
That's
just think
key.
it's. I just think it's going to be tough for Buffalo. I just think that in the playoff, their defense does not look like the top ranked defense in the regular season that they look like. But we shall see. Uh, that will be a good game. All right, so the
Okay.
next, let's go on to the next game, right?
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me stop you right there. I'm gonna put a little sauce in here
Uh-huh.
from
Tell,
Atlanta.
tell me, yeah, tell me something about
It's some
where
play.
where,
It's
where
some
it may
play.
be at.
It's some playoff sauce going on,
Okay,
and
okay, okay.
regardless if you're a Atlanta fan or not,
Mm.
we have a beautiful stadium. Mm.
It is beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
I
Thank you,
want
sir.
to go buy a car right now. Every time I look at that, like, damn it, I want my car to look like y'all stadium.
Unbelievable,
Uh-huh.
unbelievable venue, and of course you've already seen the college ranks and in
Yep.
NCAA. They love the Mercedes Benz. So by
Hmm.
saying that, I know I've taken KC and Buffalo,
Hmm.
and that's really to appease the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the fan base.
you like we got some playoff football coming to the ATL, right? Right?
We
There's gonna
got
be some
playoff football.
parties. There's gonna
We
be a lot
got
of stuff
playoff
going down
football.
there.
Hey, hey, well, I mean, what
Yeah.
more can I say? And I think Kansas City and Buffalo, it might be a little. That might be a little. What they say? Bulletin board material for both locker rooms. Hey, fellas,
Exactly.
we get this win. We
Uh-huh.
going to the ATL, and
Exactly. It's a
you
lot,
know,
and it's a lot nicer than Buffalo and Kansas City this time of the year. The
I mean,
ATL.
come on, you get it.
Hey.
It's like going to a bowl game. You get
Like the Sugar
flashback
Bowl. Yep.
college.
Hmm.
It's going to a bowl. But they've already sold 50,000 tickets for that game, and they hadn't
You don't
even.
even know what's going on.
They,
You don't even
but
know who's going to win that game yet.
but I want to say that's where people miss the when they judge the Georgia and Atlanta fans, and they
Hmm.
look on TV when we play in somebody, and it's always the other team has a lot of representation in Benz,
It is.
and they like, oh, it's because the Falcon fans or this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's Atlanta.
Hmm.
It very rarely do you even meet people that's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Everybody's
people.
out of towners. Yeah.
Yes, it's people from everywhere. So I'm sure it's a good amount of Buffalo fans that already live in Atlanta. You
Hmm.
got the Kansas City natives that live in Atlanta. So you got them, and then the fact that both of those teams' fan base travel well,
Yep.
and in perfect combination. 50,000 tickets sold, and the game hadn't even lined up yet. So that's just a different. Since
I
we
mean,
talk sports, man, it's a big weekend. It's a lot going on.
it is. It is. It is. And like I said, if Buffalo pulls it out, Kansas City pulls it out, it will be down in the ATL,
Yes,
and
sir.
it will be like a little because a lot of people may say that is the real Super Bowl. I'm not going to say that, but some people would say that. So y'all got y'all little pre-Super Bowl down in Atlanta, so that'll be what's up.
Yeah, that's
So
real
much
good.
props to ATL for hosting that if it happens.
If it
Ain't my
happens,
prediction, but if it happens.
I got you. I got you. I got to be 100. I got to be 2 for 2
Hey, hey, hey.
for that to happen.
Uh-huh. You gotta represent the ATL. I feel you. I feel you. So, but let's move on to the next game. In the
All
next
right.
game, we got Dallas, San Francisco. Dallas, 4-point underdogs. Okay. Now, San Francisco. San Francisco has been pretty much a dominant team since the beginning of the season. Now, when Trey Lance got hurt,
Mm.
I'm like, this is good. This is good news. Just when will Garoppolo get healthy enough to play? Because I'm thinking, why would you have a Super Bowl contending team and put Trey Lance, who's unproven as a quarterback,
Uh-huh.
when you can have Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, right? Who's taken your team to a Super Bowl, almost got your team back to the Super Bowl last year. This is a no-brainer. And what did he do? He got behind the helm of San Francisco 49ers and led them consistently to wins. Then all of a sudden he gets hurt.
Mm.
And they bring in this guy named Brock Purdy. Okay. That's a Purdy name. Okay. I mean, but to be
Mr.
honest with you, he's looking real pretty on the field.
Hey,
He's a pretty looking dude.
hey, he's Mr.
Paul. Let
He's
me
Mr.
pause.
Irrelevant. He's Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the NFL draft. And he has led the San Francisco 49ers to the second best record in the NFC. Everybody's scared as hell of the San Francisco 49ers right now because he looks like a more accurate, more mobile Jimmy G. You know, he looks like a Jimmy G 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm looking at, and you know what? Last week was a big thing with Brock Purdy. I said, I got to see him in the playoffs. What he look like? He started off a little erratic, right? Throwing the ball high. I'm like, all right, it's playoff.
Yes, playoff.
But when he settled in, this boy looked like Joe Montana up in here. He's
Hey,
smooth.
yes,
He's a
sir.
smooth little dude. He's a smooth little dude. So I'm like, all right, they got something with Brock Purdy. You know, Trey Lance may have to get traded. Okay. Jimmy
Oh,
G, he may be out of there. Okay. Because Brock Purdy looks good. Okay. So San Francisco is a force to be reckoned with. But let me go to the other side of the ball, right?
okay.
Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys, which some would call America's team, right?
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
people won't, but
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
a Dallas fan,
Oh man.
America's team, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Dak last week had a lot to prove. You got Jerry Jones up here like, listen, I done paid this guy so much money. What has he done for me while paying him so much money? Damn it, we can't win a playoff game. So I'm gonna give Dak a lot of credit because
Okay.
Dak went to the home of the GOAT, Tom Brady. And they not only beat Tom Brady, they whooped up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They made the Buccaneers look like y'all had no business being in the playoffs this year. They got Tom Brady saying to himself, I don't know if I want to play anymore. So I'm gonna give Dallas their props, okay? Because I'm one of those guys. You can't believe in Dallas. Dallas always gonna let you down. When they're the favorites, they always let you down, but they handle their business. So I'm gonna give Dak his props. But this week, they're going against a team that deserves to be in the playoffs. They're going against a team that some will call the best team in the NFC. I won't, okay? But some will. And this week, San Francisco is on a mission. Dallas, I think, is happy to be in this position. They won a playoff game. They made Jerry Jones happy. It's going to go to their head. They're going to be, thinking that San Francisco may be just like going into Tampa Bay. No, there's a difference. There's a
Big
difference.
difference.
San
Big
Francisco,
difference.
big difference, right? San Francisco has a real defense. San Francisco has guys that can get after the quarterback. Okay. Bosa is going to be around Prescott all night long. Okay. They have an offense. Debo, this guy, this
Oh,
guy, he plays like his name, damn it.
yes.
And Craig ain't nowhere to be found. Okay. So Debo is going to be doing some work against this defense. You got Christian McCaffrey, right?
West Coast guy, back home.
Stanford, and
Yeah.
and as a Bronco, all my Bronco fans out there, you
Yeah.
know, the son of Easy Ed McCaffrey, you know, so Christian McCaffrey is a beast, and that was a great trade that San Francisco made to
Big
get him.
time. The
Okay, so
GM,
you
the GM work. That's GM work right there.
John Lynch, ex Denver Bronco. Okay, let's go. Good job,
Yeah.
John Lynch, ex Denver Bronco. We don't talk about Tampa Bay, John Lynch. We're gonna talk about Denver Bronco, John Lynch. Okay, so great job on his part, and Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle should have been our coach. When you're the son of Mike Shanahan, the great, the genius, Mike Shanahan, you should have been our head coach. The son of a genius who is also a genius, what were we doing? But let me digress. Okay.
That's
Okay.
tough. That's tough. I
It's
hear you.
hard. It's hard looking at that. It's hard looking at that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, cuz when
Hmm.
you mention Shanahan, Coach Shanahan,
Huh?
to an Atlanta Falcon fan.
Oh yeah, let's not bring up the Super Bowl. I mean, y'all may be a little bit hurt. Y'all may have been. Hey, he should have ran the ball more. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You know,
Well,
I feel your pain on that one. I feel
so
your pain.
we don't have to
Okay,
dig in deep. I'm good. I washed it
okay,
down.
yeah. I don't want to bring up or open up any wounds or anything like that. So I'm,
I
I'm gonna leave that
appreciate it.
alone.
I appreciate it.
Y'all don't have the affection for him like I have the affection
Yeah,
for him. I
yeah,
get it. I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
But
That's what makes
him,
this one tough. That's what makes this game tough for me. Okay,
okay.
the pick who wins, this, that, and the third makes it tough because
Animosity towards both. I understand.
everything you just said about San
Mhm,
Francisco 49ers
mhm.
is I mean, is spot on.
Well,
It's
thank
spot
you. I
on.
appreciate that, cuz.
I mean, it's
because
spot on.
because
Yeah,
I've been watching San Francisco for the last few years. And San Francisco, the previous years, it's like okay, they're a good team. Last year, they were the underdogs in a couple of games and they pulled them off. But this team, no, they're looking like a conglomerate. They're looking like we're taking over, we're kicking ass, and we're taking names, and that's what they look like. That's how they've been playing. And I expect them to do the same thing to Dallas. I don't think this is going to be a close game. I
wow,
think this is going to be a blowout. But
wow.
that's just me. That's just me. Okay.
Okay,
I'm not going to tell you to put your money on San Francisco, but I'm going to tell you put your money on San Francisco. So
okay,
how do you think this game is going to come off?
okay.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna say this. Like I said, everything you said about San Francisco, you really broke that team down and spot on. Um, and spot on. I mean, that's spot on. I think before we even get into who, what, when, Dallas,
Mhm.
Dallas, Michael Parsons is a beast.
He is.
He is a
He
beast,
is.
and
He
and
is.
and and he will get to that young quarterback. He
Mhm.
will get to that young quarterback. I mean, I'm just sad a little bit. I'm emotional right now. We got Dan Quinn, former Falcon coach.
Yeah, that is. Yes. You know
Yeah,
what?
as
Yeah,
the
now that you bring
DC.
up, okay, yeah. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
tugging at your heartstrings a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The head coach and the OC
yeah, yeah,
meeting up with one another.
yeah. So
Mhm.
with that being said, I'm going with San Fran, cuz I'm going with San
Okay,
Fran. I said it.
okay,
I
okay,
said, I
okay,
said it. I'm going with San Fran.
okay.
I'm
So
going.
everybody out there, they know who to
I
put their
like
money on.
Debo. I like
Mm-hmm.
Debo, and I like the way this. I like the way that San Francisco just plays.
Yeah,
They play hard.
physical.
Debo is physical. The
Yeah.
defense is physical. I think
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna get that the moving around that pocket, and they're gonna get a. They might get Dak for 2 picks this week, and I know that'll be
Listen,
tough for the Cowboys to swallow. But I think he's gonna have more picks than the San Francisco Mr. Irrelevant. I'll say
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Because listen, if I was you guys, I would be putting because Dak going to try to do too much. They're going to be all over him, and this is when Dak gets into trouble. He runs around, make a play, pick six. So if y'all want to get some bets out there, man, put that money on a pick six. He
part
missed
of that.
last week because Tampa Bay was like, we shouldn't even be here. But I'm gonna say it may be another pick six this week. I just think that San Francisco's defense is an elite defense, and they're going to
They are.
hit people up. Okay, they're going to hit people up, and I think they're going to hit Dak up, make him move around, try to do too much, and I think it will be a pick six. So, what do you have for score for this game?
For a score, I see 28-14 San Fran.
Okay, okay, 28-14.
28-14. The spread is they have San Francisco by 4.
Mm-hmm,
I think it's gonna get emotional for Dallas. Dak's
mm-hmm,
gonna try to do something. It's gonna flip it at,
mm-hmm,
at an inopportune time. I don't think Zeke is gonna be an effect. I think they San Francisco offense is smart enough and
mm-hmm,
and and has so many weapons just to. I mean, if they want to run at 11 or if they
mm-hmm.
want to run away from 11,
Yeah,
uh, they smart. I think San Francisco just takes this one. This might be the biggest spread of out of the 4 games. This might be the biggest upset. Not
it
upset.
might be. It might be. It might be. Yeah, I think that San Francisco got this all away. I will
Yeah.
call it a blowout as well. I think, um, you know what? Let's say 42 to 24. Okay. Yeah, I think this is just I think they're going to put some points up on Dallas defense because looking at Michael Parsons the last few weeks, he's been wearing down. He has not been the Michael Parsons in the beginning of the season. It's like they've been running at him. They've been double teaming him. He does not look like the Michael Parsons of the beginning of the year. So I just think he's wearing down now, and they're going to get physical with him as well. This is a
Oh yeah.
team that gets physical. So Parsons is going to be everywhere, but you know what
That
is it?
left
Kittles are going to be hitting them up, chip blocking them, and all that other stuff. Yeah, they got something for
that left tackle for San Fran is a Hall of Fame in the making. He's a future Hall of Famer.
him.
Uh,
Trent Williams.
yeah, I
Trent.
mean
mm,
that's a vet. That's a vet in the game. That's an OG holding it down right now.
Yeah, he's holding
So
it down for Washington for so long.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, he is an OG. So yeah, so this is going to be everybody want to watch this game and stuff like this, but I think people in Dallas would be very disappointed. Stephen A. Smith will be very happy
oh
at
yeah.
the end of this game, and you know, I don't want to see Stephen A. too happy, but he will be happy at the end of this game. So all right, so we got one more game. Remember, you're watching South Jersey Life. Remember to subscribe, like, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to watch, share, like. You know the routine. All right. So last game. This is a big one down these parts. Okay. You got the New York Football Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I am not an Eagles fan. This is South Jersey. Eagles, but Jalen Hurts is my guy. And all these people, I've been telling y'all, these Eagle fans, why are you doubting Jalen Hurts? The man, all he needs is the opportunity. All he needs is to get with the right coach. Jalen Hurts will be special because he has a winner's mentality. Okay? But all these Philadelphia fans talking all this, Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. He's not Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz should still be the quarterback. We should go out and go get uh, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and blah 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 blah. And I'm telling these, are you crazy? That is the man. Jalen is the man. He
No.
got Charles. Listen, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. I'm gonna start. It's gonna be a problem, okay? Because I gotta see these Philadelphia Eagle fans. But y'all know the deal. How y'all been treating Jalen, and you get him some weapons, and you see what he can do. Y'all doubted the man could even throw the football. Y'all doubted he could even throw the football.
Mm.
Y'all in shock. Y'all should be Eagle fans should be ashamed of themselves or how y'all treated
Should
Jalen
be.
Hurts. I mean, he got y'all to the playoffs last year, this bum team last year, and y'all gave him no respect. And what did he come out and do this year? He was damn near the MVP of the season until he got hurt. And
And
then all of a sudden, we love Jalen, we love Jalen, we love Jalen.
mm,
Yeah, all right. And you still got doubters. As soon as he got hurt, I knew a running quarterback would get hurt. Really?
yeah.
Really? Like you still got some guys hoping we don't want to pay him. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. All right. All right. All right. Now, me saying all of this, I need him to win. Despite these Philadelphia Eagle fans, because I want y'all to lose. Okay. But they're going against the New York football giants. The New York football giants look good last week. Okay. Daniel Jones looked pretty good. I was saying Daniel Jones is a bum. He didn't look like a bum last week. Daniel Jones looked pretty damn good. Daniel Jones looked like he about to get some money soon. Okay, y'all gonna have to pay that man because he had one good game. Now he's been pretty consistent, but I'm not afraid of Daniel Jones. And if I was the Eagles, I wouldn't be afraid of Daniel Jones. And this week, in my opinion, my expert opinion, I think that the Eagles defense is going to be all over Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is going to look like the Daniel Jones of the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that. He will have turnovers. Okay, he will fumble the ball. He will throw interceptions. The Eagles defense, 70 sacks this year. 70 sacks. Okay, they will put the pressure on. They got Sue. They got Joseph up the middle to stop Saquon from running the football. Their outside receivers, they have no outside receivers. So you got
They're gonna
Slay.
load the box. They're gonna load the box.
They're gonna load the box, and you got Slay and you got Bradbury sitting out there. Okay, they can play man to man, tight coverage defense. Okay, they don't have to blitz. So they just don't match up. And remember, the first game was like 48-22. Okay, when they first met this season. So I don't. It hurts me to say this. It hurts me to say this. But the Eagles are going to kill the New York Giants. But the main reason they're going to kill the New York Giants, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Floor is yours.
Yes. Hey, let me pick the mic up. Let me pick the mic up.
It's wobbling a little bit.
Hey man, hey,
You got to preach the truth. You got to preach
hey,
the truth.
what we here for? What we here for?
Exactly.
Hey, what we here for? You know, and let's be honest. Let's keep it real with the subscribers, with the likers, with the listeners. Let's just keep it 100.
Got to keep it 100.
The Jalen Hurts argument for MVP, to me, it went away too fast with the injury.
Yeah.
I mean, it was week what? We were week 14, 15.
Yeah, we're week 14. Yeah, I guess after the Bears game.
Yeah. I mean, and as a fan, you see the play. I'm not here to whine and all that. It is football, but hey, I know a lot of quarterbacks that would have took that same sack, and that would have been a personal foul, 15 yards roughly.
The moniker of a so-called running quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Tom
know.
Brady won't take that type of hit. No,
Oh no, no,
no,
sir. No,
no,
sir. But
no.
the the play of Jalen Hurts and knowing, I'm just gonna piggyback on everything that you just said.
Mhm,
The the mentality of this young man,
mhm.
and you said it at the very beginning of your statement, he has a winner's mentality.
Gotta have it.
He has a winner's mentality. He's a championship. He's a two-time champion, uh, uh, college football championship.
Alabama. Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, the mentality to be able to deal with his college career, the
Mhm,
substitution, the big this, the that. How do you handle it? I
mhm,
mean, by far, I don't understand why he wasn't a number one quarterback taken, just based off of how he handled football situations and coaching from a well-respected Hall of Fame coach. That this next level, why would any what would be the knock or the hesitation of giving this young man a
mhm.
shot?
It's
So,
you,
um,
and I'm gonna tell you why. It's all because he lost his job to Tua. That's the why did he lose his job to Tua? Okay, Tua came in the national championship game and won the championship game, but that doesn't diminish what Jalen Hurts got them to the championship game. And then when
so
he went to Oklahoma, he was second up for the Heisman Trophy. Okay, he's the one that helped C.D. Lamb get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Who you think was catching throwing the ball to C.D. Lamb? What are we talking about? Saying that Jalen can't throw? What are we talking about? That's why C.D. Lamb was a first round draft pick.
yeah,
Okay, so what are we talking about? But
that's another
go ahead.
conversation. That's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, we'll have these conversations. Not this time, but we will
Not
have these
tonight, but we
conversations.
can we can
Yeah,
dig down
exactly.
into we can dig down into
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into deep with a lot of things. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. That's why you
South
need to
Jersey life.
subscribe. That's why
South
you need to
Jersey life.
subscribe. Subscribe because we rolling. We rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but this year,
Hmm.
this weekend,
Hmm.
you said it, the New York football giants, the New
Hmm.
York football giants
Hmm.
will get destroyed. They
Yeah.
will get destroyed.
Yeah.
Uh that, that quarterback is a,
Hmm.
and oh, here's what is that? A battle of the Alabama quarterbacks? Am I
What
right?
Daniel? No. Daniel went to Duke. He went to
Okay,
Duke.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
I
he went to
digress.
Duke.
I digress.
Yeah, he went to
Well,
that powerful that powerhouse Duke football team. Not basketball,
look,
but
they got
powerhouse
a
Duke football team. Yeah.
They got a good medical school down there at Duke.
Oh yeah,
And
I heard.
after this weekend, he may have to go,
More man roll.
go get
I mean,
adjusted.
they are going to with that pass rush. This
Mm.
is the Eagles' main thing. It's that pass rush. They send like 7, 8 guys after you. When you got 4 guys in double digits and sacks, your D tackle got 11 sacks. They're going to throw the house at
How,
Daniel
how
Jones.
many how many sacks do the Eagles have for the season?
70 sacks, third most all time. Third most
70
all time.
sacks.
Yes.
70.
They're like 10 above anybody else, the second place team. I mean, they've been getting after people.
So
You know,
so would you feel comfortable to say they're gonna get 5 to 6 sacks this weekend?
you know what? I believe so. Because they're not, because the Giants are not a passing team, they're a run first team, but they will be down so many points, which will have Daniel Jones sitting there passing to guys he don't know. I mean, these listen, their receiving core is weak. So when you
Did
got
you
to force it, yeah, he's gonna get sacked a lot. Yeah,
did you
he's gonna
hear
get
the
sacked a lot.
scenario after last week's game though? His mobility. They
Oh
were
yeah,
all talking. I'm sure you heard a lot of it. The mobility. He ran
He got that
for
Forrest
seven
Gump
first
speed.
downs.
He got that Forrest Gump speed. He does. I mean, he got that Forrest Gump speed.
Yeah,
He's gonna be running for his life though.
he's gonna be running for his life. He's gonna be running
Hmm.
for his life for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
It's gonna take 1 quarter for the game to get to be a 10 point
Hmm.
spread
Hmm.
after the first quarter.
Hmm.
And when Jalen I mean, and uh, just knowing the type of guy that Jalen is, I can see him scoring a rushing touchdown in the first half just to just to close the mouth of the naysayers.
Yeah,
And and,
and
and you know, then I can
yeah,
see him.
flex that shoulder,
Yeah,
flex that shoulder.
you know, I can see him coming out. I can see him coming out,
Uh-huh.
even if it's an incomplete. You
Uh-huh.
know, just first play, just letting it rip and blow the top off the
Hmm.
back of the defense. Even if it's incomplete, just chuck it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
60 yards down the field.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. That arm feels real great. Okay,
Yes, sir.
feels
Yes,
real
sir.
great. Yep,
Yes, sir.
I got
Yeah,
that. I got that arm that y'all told me I didn't have, and it
I
feels
didn't
real
have.
good. It
Hey,
feels
the
real
chip.
good.
Look, the chip on the shoulder.
On the
It's
shoulder.
still
Hey,
there.
you knocked
It's, hey, it's
it.
right there. He plays with
Uh
it.
huh.
He plays with it. He plays
Uh
with
huh.
it. You know. So hey, he's gonna come out ready. I think you're gonna see a it's hard to say a motivated Jalen Hurts because he stays motivated. He stays locked in.
He's
Um,
focused.
he's
He
very
is focused.
cerebral. They overlook his mental game and the
Mm-hmm.
mental approach
Yep.
to the game. He didn't take the last couple of weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
You know he was locked in. He was
I know this.
rehabbing. He was rehabbing and he was watching film.
Mm-hmm.
He broke down both. He broke down all the teams that had a chance of playing them this week. I,
Mm-hmm.
I I feel very confident in saying that he had a game plan for either team that was
Yeah.
lined up to play the Eagles because he's just that type of leader. He's
Yeah.
just that type of leader.
And I think he is definitely on a mission to prove all the naysayers wrong. And I think he was on a mission to prove these Philadelphia Eagle fans that he know that did not support him, did not believe in him. You know what? I'm not going to even talk about it. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna prove to you why I am the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Not now, not for next year, but for the next 10 to 15 years. I am the quarterback, and pay me my money. And I think he's on the pathway of proving that right now. So, what do
Hmm.
you have for a score for this game?
I see we playing in Philly.
Yep.
It's a 7.5 point Philly. They're gonna. I may have misspoke and said San Francisco's game would be the largest blowout of the
That's
day
why I
of
didn't
the
want to
week.
say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I misspoke. I
Mhm.
misspoke. I
Yep.
misspoke. Just diving back into this game here,
Mhm.
and Jalen Hurts and his crew.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna put up 40 plus points, man. I think they're gonna put up 40 plus points.
Mhm.
And why they they may score 14 to 17 points. So 40 to 14. Let's just
14.
yeah, let's just put it
Yeah,
out
I
there.
think they cover. I
Who the
think
Jalen fan?
I think that's a cover. So Eagles gonna cover that. Um, I'm looking at. I think they're going to try to rush Jalen if they get that big lead, which I think they will get. They get that big lead. I think they're going to try to rush Jalen and try not to have him play in the fourth quarter. So I think the backups will be in there in the fourth quarter. They'll be gearing up for San Francisco. So I think it'll maybe 31 to uh, 14. 31-14. Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
If Jalen Hurts throws for 300, 300 yards,
Hmm.
um, you think he can do that in the three quarters? You saying he's gonna play three quarters? You think he can throw for 300 and maybe two or three tutties?
AJ Brown is going to have two touchdowns in this game. Okay. Goddard, the tight end, is going to have a touchdown. Okay. So that's three touchdowns right
That's
there.
three touchdowns.
Jalen's going to run for a touchdown.
So
That's
he's
four
gonna
touchdowns. He's going to rush. He's going to rush for. Yeah, I told you. He going to, like you said, he's going to flex that. Feels real good. Real
yeah.
good. Right.
Okay.
They'll kick a field goal. That's how you get the 31 points. So I believe that he's going to go over 300 and three quarters, but he
Two.
has a point to prove. So I think he could do it, but I think he will have three touchdowns in this game. And like I said, they may not take him out, you know, in the beginning of the fourth quarter. It may be halfway through in the fourth quarter, but yeah, I can see him putting 300 yards up. I can see him rushing for another 50 yards. Just because he's going to do that, because he's going to show the Giants, like, listen, you can't just get Miles Sanders. I may sneak out the other way. I think he may have a big game doing that. Um, yeah, so 350 yards rushing, three touchdowns, one touchdown rushing the football. So I think he's just going to have a complete game. Yep.
Okay. With that stat line,
Hmm.
with that stat line, what does Patrick Mahomes have to do to lose the league MVP?
Oh,
To
it's
JJ.
over. They already voted on it. It's already over. See, that's the misfortune of it. It's over
Uh,
already. They already voted. See,
yeah.
if it was still including the playoffs, but I don't think that the MVP voting is over. Patrick got it because of the fact is it's regular season. They don't even count playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. See, that's as
Wow.
soon as the yeah. So as
That-
soon as the regular season is over, it's over. Like I said, it cost and the Eagles coaches is what cost because they shouldn't have been running them 12. We ran 12, 15 times against the Chicago Bears. They already had the game in hand, and they
yeah.
kept running them until they landed on his shoulder. I mean, that was bad management by the Eagles coaches for keep running them, but that's what lost him the MVP because he was well on his way to winning the MVP. And then next week was against the Dallas Cowboys, which I believe they would have beat the Dallas Cowboys if he would have played. So
Oh, definitely,
yeah.
definitely,
Mhm.
definitely. I do agree. I
Yeah.
do agree with that. So basically, we're saying, unfortunately, the way it looks for the New York Football Giant fans, they're in the playoffs,
They got
but
that win. They got that one win.
they
Yeah.
got that one win, so they're
Yeah.
gonna be one and done.
Mhm.
They're content.
Yeah.
This will be it. This will
Hmm.
be it for those Giants, and it was a good run.
Good run.
Your division was strong. Your
Uh-huh.
division was strong.
Look at that.
I think New York and Dallas,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they just benefited from having a strong division
Hmm.
and this year, and that's how it goes. And but it's over with. The Eagles will move on, and the Eagles will move on, and yeah, that's it. That's just the bottom line.
Right.
The Giants are done. The Giants are done.
Right.
You can flip that on.
So yeah, so my brother-in-law, he will be unhappy. My partner in crime, Mr. Story, will be unhappy. These Giant fans, but y'all had a good run. Y'all can be proud, but y'all will be sad at the end of that game. So
Yeah.
just let it be
High
known.
school. Look, we,
Let
we
it be known.
love we love everybody around
All
here. It's
love.
nothing but love, nothing but love.
It's all love. It's all
I'm
love.
on the couch. We on the couch. My man's on the couch. Come on, Giants fan.
Hey, y'all can come
Everybody's
sit.
gonna
Y'all can
ain't but
come
one
sit with
team gonna
us.
be left standing. And one
Uh huh. Y'all can come sit with us. So it's all good. You know what I mean? All love.
yeah,
All right. So I appreciate Levon getting up here. Last minute,
it's
uh,
all good.
talking that football talk.
Yes,
That
sir. Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean? And we're going to be trying to do this next week because you're going to have the NFC and AFC championship games. So I don't know if you're going to be busy, but I would love to have you back next week. We can try
Hey,
to do this again.
hey, man, that
All right.
sounds like a plan. I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a ball. I had a ball, man, and can't wait to see what it is. Look, you never know how things work out, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a who knows. Next week we might be live in his downtown Atlanta, getting ready for
Okay.
AFC
Okay.
championship
Okay.
game. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. You never know where it might pop
You
up at.
never know.
That
You never
little,
know. Yeah,
you know,
cause you can get some good footage.
yeah,
Get some good footage, some behind the scene footage at
yeah.
South Jersey Life, straight from the ATL. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. There
That's
you
what's
go.
up. That's
There
what's
you
up.
go, man.
So, like I said, I appreciate you, cuz, coming up in here. Uh, you know, with your football knowledge, greatly appreciate it. you know. And everybody watching, appreciate you guys. Like I said, you share, you like, you subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about South Jersey life. And we're going to have, a lot more about sports, politics, uh, all the issues that's going on, all the hot topics. That's what we're about, South Jersey life. So I just want to say, everybody have a good night. Hopefully our picks are good. Y'all win some money off of some of these picks, and we will see you next week. So we are out. South Jersey life. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.